Hello and welcome to Sloss and Humphries on the Road. It's me, your favourite comedian, Gareth Waugh. Or maybe you've never heard of me. On this week's episode, we speak about rats, fish, mostly fish again, and women, and what's wrong with them. So, hey, enjoy that, and please sign up to the Patreon, which I receive no benefit for, but it's pretty fucking cool.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh.
Oh. Is it called free balling?
Yeah.
Freewheeling?
Free balling.
Free falling.
Spitballing.
Spitwheeling.
That's all, yeah. That's great.
It's free balling's where you don't win
That's
anywhere.
the John Mayer song.
Because free balling.
Fuck, that was nice. I've always wanted to harmonise with you guys.
In Scotland, that means crying for no money.
Right, thanks for having me on. I'm off.
Yeah, that's it. That's straight.
What happened to the big reveal with Gareth where we fade out?
Such a fucking waste.
Yeah.
Aye, welcome back to the podcast.
It's nice to be here from the start.
Aye, it's good to have you on. You were also on your phone for heaps of the last one.
Because I wasn't on it.
Aye, that was Kai.
I like being on my phone.
Natalie was like, did Gareth still think he was off camera for the second half of the podcast because he was just texting?
Oh, yeah.
No, I think it's because Marlena was...
She was winding me up about something.
Aye, that's what she does.
What was it again?
Oh, let's not get back into the headspace.
No. I quite like it.
No, I don't. I think I haven't done this podcast.
Fight for months ago.
Aye, having done this podcast with Kai for several years, I know how to be like, stop going down the same dead end. Being like, no, I know a way out this time, guys. I reckon there's a secret book on that bookshelf, and I'll pull it, and it'll be into a world of banter. No, we're back in the same room, man.
Coming from our here, Joe Rogan over here. That's what you boys are doing now. We've got Matthew and Jack in the room because they're gonna, like, if they're here, we're just going down the same topic that we did last week. You're meant to pull us out of it.
Aye.
Just now that's in your remit.
Yeah. Aye. Oh,
But
that doesn't.
these two producers?
Aye?
I thought they were just
Trainee producers.
I thought they were just big fans.
Yeah.
Oh, Gareth's on. We're coming to watch.
Not even big fans of the podcast just yet.
Just the G-tip.
How was he up to?
Aye.
Just the G-tip.
Is there going to be any rapping in your Fringe show this year?
No,
Nah.
I'm done with that.
Done.
Once I've done it, put it to bed. I'm a lot like, Kendrick Lamar.
But he's got
Switch up
Who
all the time.
famously only rapped
No,
once.
that's not true.
But he's got to do like a kind of poetry that doesn't rhyme, where he gives it like the rhythm and cadence of poetry.
Yeah.
The worst type.
And then I got off the bus.
Oh, so comedy too. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty high. I'm gonna go on with throne of crowns, just bleed all over the place.
Yeah.
Just some real like artsy stuff.
Aye.
Real art house.
Just then do a bunch of then I rape them jokes.
And like
Yeah.
all the audience are just sat there going, I didn't get it, but fucking reviewers are just creaming themselves about what they can
That's
unpack
all I
from you.
want. Audiences have always loved it. I don't care about them anymore. I want a reviewer to be sitting going,
It's not gonna.
Or the audience just don't see it because they're not as smart as me.
Aye.
They can't interpret this art the way I see it.
But
It's trained eye.
Are you? The only way you're gonna get that review is if you leave that many like layers on top. Are you gonna bury your actual comedy under all that shit, or are you just gonna?
Some days I think it will come across like it's buried under some shit, but most of the time I won't put it's laughed.
Where are you? Because wait. Was your last preview the same fucking piece of shit Sterling gig? Right. Okay. Because I was about to ask you how confident are you in your current Fringe run, but not the right time after that. Do you have other previews coming up?
I'm in St Andrews on Saturday.
Oh, good. So you can wash the
But I've
stink
still never
off.
done an hour, so it's not really a preview.
I
think it's unfair to call it
It's
a
going to be
preview.
40 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. St Andrews 40 minutes. That'll be one of the longest ones. But like the other ones have been 20 minutes. It's not a preview. It's just a gig. It's just a gig in a hall where everyone is too bright.
Yeah.
I'd done a gig at Bar because I know how you felt after that because I'd done the Thursday that Stirling gig. Just fucking skylights, wasn't it? The window, it had a sealed window.
Every time I caught eyes with somebody in the audience, they looked away because they were self-conscious.
They were like,
they weren't a crowd.
Yeah, so I went to Barnett Castle the next day, perfectly run gig, perfect lighting, everything right, and the material worked, and I was like, oh, good. Like, that's not really a representation.
And did you get there and go, fucking hell, my eyesight is class?
Barnard Castle, I get it.
Oh,
Sorry, mate.
thanks. So that's God. I hope that's what the whole Fringe is. Oh, right, I get it. Yeah.
Oh mate, you should have seen us like fucking last week on this. He just dropped an obvious gag, and it took me they started the timer waiting for us to catch on.
Yeah.
Start the fucking
So
stopwatch.
slow.
Anyway.
It was a horrible joke though, so fair's
Drug
fair.
damage. Good old cocaine catching up with us. You know what? Because when I always say that joke about drug damage, but I've never really like been that bad compared to people that live on it and they have it like day to day. Like we've had fringes and we've had festivals. What the fuck's going on with like Charlie Sheen's mind? Is he alright?
Well, I don't know how much coke he's doing.
He's not alright.
No.
Is anyone
Do you not remember
welfare
his
check?
last interview?
Has anyone welfare checked Charlie Sheen?
No.
We know somebody that works with Charlie Sheen has done like when like I know in America, whenever like American celebrities like get big or fucking famous because they've had a breakdown or they're fucking freaking out, what happens is somebody goes, you can just tour around Europe and do like a Q&A, and I guarantee 5,000 Swedes will turn up being like, this is the cunt that went mental.
The novelty of it.
Oprah, yeah.
Yeah, well, because I was like, even when Phil Mitchell come to Blythe I was Bedlinton to do a DJ set at a nightclub, everybody showed up because fucking Steve McFadden's there, right? Like guys who have got like a level of celebrity could just show up at a place where they're not meant to be.
Yeah.
And they'll get fucking everyone in the local area to come see them. So if you've got that level of fame, you can just pop up places. Not that Phil Mitchell and Charlie Sheen.
I was just going to say, nobody's used them in the same sentence.
But Charlie Sheen is to Swedes what Phil Mitchell is to Geordies. I think that's
I
fair.
did a Butland Skegness with Tinchy Strider.
Did you?
Oh, I feel like he should be way more famous than that. Or
No.
did he only have like
Yeah,
one song?
Number one with N-dubs.
Oh yeah.
And I think that was it. And there was also Blazing Squad and A1 and somebody else. It was a big naughties weekend.
I had a real nice one where I stayed in the same chalet as Akil the MC from Jurassic 5.
Oh yeah, I remember
That
that.
was
yeah.
cool as fuck, because he was the first ever Fringe show I had. He was my first punter, front runner. He was the music I had on. Concrete Schoolyard was on when I come in. So that music actually still fucking sends me back to when I was nervous as fuck behind the curtain. Like it's still a bit jarring for us if I hear it, because it was just the headspace I was in. But it was fucking cool as fuck meeting him. Like I had a spliff with him, but he couldn't smoke it with us because his heart was hurting.
That's not a cool story at all.
No,
He was like, I've had surgery or something, so I can't smoke. I'll roll you a spliff.
Oh, he rolled you one.
He gave us the ball.
that's good.
I got to have one of his fucking
Right,
spliffs.
okay.
So.
It's like going for a drink with Tyson and he pours you and goes, I can't drink. Aw.
But yeah, me and Cullen had that with Steve-O.
Oh yeah.
We had a drink in the company of Steve-O.
Thanks, buddy. Glug, glug, glug.
Do you want some kind of day? You're normally not a pussy.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were cool. That's so.
Yeah. What if I film it? We do it then?
we
Who do
do
you
it for
reckon
the
somebody
likes.
then that's famous now that in like 10 years' time you'll be doing a gig with?
Oh, right. So somebody that's like, I'll take the veer into stand-up comedy because my
Well, not
thing
even
hasn't
stand-up
worked out.
comedy, just like you'll be on like you'll see them somewhere like, oh, what a fall from grace.
Oh, where you just you're on your slow way up while they're on their rapid way down, and you've met there.
Ah, yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
and you're acting like you're the big man, but you're in the same spot. You're both at Butlands.
Aye. Because it's not going to be somebody like Stormzy, is it?
No.
I'd be mad if me and Stormzy were at Butlands in 10 years.
I feel like I just don't know enough about any kind of like pop music or.
You don't know who's big now.
Nah.
For the
It'll
bubble,
be like
for the bubble to burst on them.
No.
Joel Dommett. Like, hey, old friend, we'll meet again. Everyone gigs with Joel Dommett twice.
I could be that like Sterling maybe as well.
Yeah.
Once Love Island eventually kills all the young people in a country.
There's
There's no more contestants left, Sterling's back.
There's an even rope left at B&Q. Starting to feel like he's the problem.
I've been following like old celebrities. You know, when people who were like famous in like the 90s, at the time they were like the biggest, and you just go, where the fuck are they now? I can't even remember for what reason ended up from Craig from Big Brother 1.
Yeah.
Right, and I was just like, just out of curiosity, because I remember when he won, Big
Shout.
Brother was like the biggest show in the UK at the time. It must, I mean, find out how many of the final of the first Big Brother
I
series.
think it was 1 million. I want to say 1 million.
And people watched it, in the UK.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it was 1 million.
What do you think of the prize money?
Yeah.
No, like how many people watched it? I was like, they're like 1 million's not heaps. It would have been
I
way more
remember
than
when
that.
Big Brother first came out and my mates were like pitching it to me and they're like, you can see them like in the shower and stuff if you watch the 24-hour cameras. And I was like,
Kate Lawler.
Yeah.
Kate Lawler side boob in that. Can you remember?
4.5 million, right? There you go, right? So heaps of people fucking watching
Oh,
it.
that's a TikTok these days.
Aye.
Shit.
Ah, but that's what TikTok did. But at the time...
More people have watched Elliot Steele just complain to a fan.
He's now just a joiner.
I thought he would be a joiner because that's what he was.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said just a joiner. I didn't mean that to, like...
People building an extension now listening to us on the wireless. just shedding a tear.
I didn't mean-
Sorry, lads.
I just meant...
Sorry, lads, he's above his station.
Just
Aye.
kicked down a gazebo and like, I'm going to have to fix that again. It was worth it though. Jesus was just a joiner.
Well, no, he was also the son of God.
Eventually.
What? No,
But
seems
Queen
like
was also on Big Brother.
Aye.
Jesus wasn't doing miracles when he was like 4 though, was he?
What, was he not?
Maybe like Matilda-esque miracles.
Aye.
Just like he was looking at Mary's tits and then just going, well, that
Just
milk's in me now.
squirted milk out of his mouth. Just milked her from afar.
Aye.
Just gets his fat friend to have way too much of her milk. I couldn't possibly. You gotta.
Did Jesus have super strength? Or am I thinking of the Hulk?
Imagine Jesus had super strength and he just was stuck on the cross going, well, why don't I just use my powers? Just wrench them off.
But then he wouldn't have died for
Aye,
himself.
but he's a joiner and he appreciates good woodwork.
What an ironic way it was to die in the end, wasn't it?
It's like me laughing to death.
Hi. You're not using that hammer, are you? Alright. I'll stay on the job.
Aye, you'd be better off with screws there, mate.
Just stay in, because I'll just rip these off. It's mad.
Crazy. It won't hold me up.
Jesus got screwed to the cross because he's a backseat driver.
Dovetail here. Well, on your head be it. Do you know what? You're going to crown of thorns now as well.
Yeah. You've gone through the ankles, which are actually much narrower, so you've probably split the bone. I would have gone through the feet. Yeah, there.
Did they get through the feet? Did they get through his ankles? Brutal.
Yeah, I think they,
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there.
I don't know why I thought the crucifixion was fine until then.
And then it was one through both of his arms so he could move, one through both of his legs, and then one through his heart to make sure he wasn't a vampire, and then one through his eye, just to spite him at that point. They were just being dicks.
Aye, and then just kept tapping his funny bone with fun.
Aye.
They always act like
And then also
Why
one
did they
that
even call it that?
they would just give him also just little henna tattoos at the same time.
Aye. They're like the ones that the authentic Maori ones.
Aye. Wait, no, henna's...
Maori? Absolutely not.
No, you know the ones like where they tap the ink.
Oh, yeah,
That's not
with-
what a henna is. A henna's just like a transfer. Isn't it?
Aye. No, but the one with the actual bone things. Aye, I don't-
Is a henna a transfer?
No, henna's not transfer at all. Henna is...
It's not permanent.
But it's definitely not the hammer and bone one.
Yeah, they just
Alright, but is it not done with a stick though?
I don't know, maybe.
It's like I've had it. It's
I've got a
like
henna tattoo.
like icing sugar kind of
temporary.
Oh, well.
Temporary.
I
Oh, well,
got
then.
Zante, I think it was.
Yeah.
I've got like a band on my arm like Mel C.
Just what of
like I think it was like back when tribal was a thing. So I tribal
Just couldn't run with a henna and going, I buy 1,000 roses, buy 1,000
Yeah, zig zag. I kept doing that. I was like, when he put it on, he was like, transfer me.
that's good.
These too hard. They're right.
That would be a good bit to do. Like if for whatever reason you were at a kid's birthday party and you were an adult getting a face tattoo, just pretending it was agony the whole
Face
time.
tattoo? You mean like
The face paint. Face paint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, but sorry.
Face tattoo would.
Not the ones that you rub on with an iron.
No.
Pretending it hurts.
No.
They're meant for t-shirts. You're meant to spigot for life.
Turn into your mates winking.
You're just there pretending it hurts.
Aye, definitely those.
I might just. Oh well, the reason I bring up face paint. Gareth, did you ever go to SeaWorld?
God, yeah.
Over in North Queensbury.
Oh wait, Yeah, but I've also went to the Florida, the bad one.
Oh, no.
The evil one.
The evil one. Well, have you been to the North Queensbury one?
Yeah, several times.
Now, when
One
was
of my favourite places.
when was the last time you were there?
Quite recently, and it was so sad.
Oh, so we took Kaylin there yesterday, and my brothers are 10 and 12 years younger than me. I remember taking them there all the time. They loved it. It's one of those ones where it's got like the moving walkway, underground tunnel,
Longest in
aquarium.
Europe.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. And boy, it was, in my memory, was it long, and there were millions of fish in my memory, and it was green, and fucking, I don't know whether that was all just lies
like
I
you were
told
small?
myself. Yeah, maybe. Well, no, because I remember being even as a teenager, because I was taking them through when they were, 3.
I think it was better. Like, they used to have the seals and stuff, didn't they?
They still do, and those seals need, like, I don't know if anyone in the UK has, people must have hunting rifles. I don't know if anyone's got a sniper rifle, but you would be doing the kindest thing in the world
God, yeah.
if you were to just stand on the Forth Road Bridge and just fucking pick those seals off, man.
Yeah.
Just from a distance.
The only
They
seals in the world I've seen with fag breaks.
Are they not having a nice time
Oh
there?
man, the Forth is right there, where there are actual seals that are just free and wild, and that you can go watch, and they are just locked into there isn't a Janny at this place at all. Like, it's just
not been cleaned forever.
It's not been cleaned forever. There's only 7 fish left in the whole fucking aquarium. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, they clearly are just letting them die off and then selling them at the cafe, and then they're just like, that's when we're gonna run out. That's when it's over. Hi, fish finger sandwiches.
Meatballs.
Some of it was class. Did you ever do the thing where they you had to test all the water and find the polluted water? They did a little science thing one time.
What, how do you do in the pool tests for them?
Pretty much.
They got the kids
Aye.
grafting, doing the pH levels.
Even then,
and
at
all
least
that.
it was getting done back then.
I remember my dad took me and my sister, and we did that. You've got to try and find out. There was like 4 test tubes, and you had to figure out which was the polluted water. And it was great
And
fun.
then they had you in back washing the filters.
Aye.
And
Feeding the
that's
sharks and that.
the reason they stopped doing that is that because that's all of the water now.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely nobody there, it felt, was when you go to these places, there's always like a conservationist or somebody who's like a vet and stuff. He's like, who's the one with the degree here? Because I'm just seeing teenagers and people's in their 20s running.
Do you remember the Stand did a promo for the Fringe there, and they got the comedians to go in with the sharks?
No.
Oh, that's a great story. So Ro Campbell's in there, and because he's Australian, he thinks he fucking knows sharks and fish and all that, right? He tickled like a little fish on the nose, and it bit his finger, and his finger started bleeding. So it's going up. So then one of the divers that took him down had to lie on top of him while all the sharks are like going above him. And they were like, I need to hide you because the blood's coming up. So he nearly got fucking ate by sharks and not cleaned for it.
Oh my goodness.
Good. I really wish that had happened.
Imagine moving away from
Australia.
He's from Adelaide, isn't he?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
We're moving away from Australia where the fucking waters are infested.
Getting eaten by a Scottish shark in
In a
captivity.
paddling pool.
It would be a very
it'd be
good
class.
way to go.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But it's pretty grim. My sister worked there for a wee bit. She when she did a marine biology course, and she was like obsessed with sharks. So she went there, and she said it was on the downward slope then, and that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I remember it being so good, and when I took Cara in there, the first bit was all right because you go down and like there's piranhas, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I remember those piranhas, and they haven't moved in the 20 years it's been since I've been there, and then you're just at the end of it. You're like you do the longest one in Europe. You come back up and you go, oh, and then there's the sad seals and
You touch a wee starfish or that?
No, we could have
have any
played
rays?
there were rays, aye. There was a snake.
I love the aquariums.
Why did they have cats in the aquarium?
The ones where they just let you fire away and fucking molest all the beasts.
Aye. Yeah. Touch the things
I
and
don't
learn
think there's
them.
manta rays, get in amongst there, fucking dive in with your hands, then we wash them, and lotion all over the cunts.
Start like cracking your knuckles like this is for Steve.
I mean, that's that's why you can. I think that's why there's no like petting bit in the. You can't have a petting zoo in Fife because
Have they taken away the petting bit?
Aye,
Aye,
because
they used to-
there is no form of petting any animal in Fife outside of have some chips in your hand, wait and clock a gull. That's the only time you ever get to touch a
The only
wild
petting
animal.
in
So you don't even
SeaWorld is heavy.
All right, doll, have you lost your kids too?
Mine was legally like. But I remember when I went and they like held up a starfish and all the kids got to feel the starfish, and then the first kid that felt it, the guy went, "Congratulations, you've just felt its bum," and everyone was like, "No way!" They're losing their minds. So then everyone touched the legs after that. But it was like because the arse is on the top.
You just think at its hoop.
It was the funniest thing.
That kid was called Gay Starfish for the remainder 6 years of school.
Rusty Starfish, he was called.
Patrick Gazy.
Very good.
Bye. I'm so sad because I fucking love aquariums, man.
Oh, a good
One of my favourite
aquarium's
things.
real good.
Sydney Aquarium's unreal.
Yeah.
And every time I go somewhere, there's an
And
aquarium,
any missing kids there, they just stuck them like straight in the pool. That's
Yeah.
what's good. That's what's dead good. Any sick animals, they're like no vets in this aquarium, straight in with the sharks. It's class. It's the right way to do it. That's the way Edinburgh Zoo should be.
Yeah.
Second the animals start getting sick, you just throw them in with the lions.
Shit now as well.
Aye.
Last time I did the penguin parade, there was 2 penguins, and I don't think 2's a parade.
Well, look here. There's the problem. And look, for some reason, Penguin Parade at Edinburgh Zoo is they open the gates and they give the penguins the choice of whether they come out.
Yeah.
And I think I look. There's no consent in the animal world, right? Anyway, like penguins don't ask each other to fuck each other. Like they might make displays or whatever, but if they're gonna fuck, they're gonna fuck. Right? Other animals just fucking make them do the parade. Get a stick, hit them in the back. There's fucking people that pay
Yeah,
to come.
free fucking lodge and boarding, like fucking get them.
Aye, get them out
Till
doing
we
things.
walk.
Just they're getting fat. Look at those fat cunts. Fucking get their Scottish penguins. This is about make them go on the walk instead of just being like, well, we have to ask them why.
Well, that's very Orange Order making them.
Penguins
go
are
on the walk.
bastards. Penguins are fucking bastards. It's the one bit I was never allowed to do, like in the penguin.
Oh, you're not
bit.
allowed their biscuits or their jokes anymore.
You got silenced.
I didn't get silenced, but I just did a bit where I was very positive about, and had there been any negativity about penguins about after that, then it would have not.
What was your bit about here?
The gay penguins. No, I did the gay penguin bit, which was obviously a very positive bit. But the truth is, penguins are assholes. Like if there is a penguin that's had a baby and the other penguins haven't laid any eggs, they'll just kill that egg because fuck you, I'm not one.
So they're spiteful.
Yeah, real horrible creatures.
They kind
Aye.
of just
can't be
enjoy
happy
someone
for-
else's happiness.
Nah.
They kind of be like, oh, look at them getting
They're
on.
picky eaters in captivity, not in the wild. In the wild, they'll eat any fish, but in captivity, if you go up to them
I
and
think
you
you
give
mean
them fish.
picky.
So,
Very good.
But you want to touch them as well on the parade, which I always found frustrating.
Aye.
You should be allowed to just touch everything.
Well, yeah, it's
Everything.
just let us touch. Well, I do reckon.
Starfish's bum was just a gateway drug.
Oh, man.
I want to finger a penguin.
Do you reckon zoos back in like the 1900s were just fucking class chaos?
Oh my God,
Like you were
totally.
just like they didn't have any electric fence. There was nothing. There were just like lions and elephants over there.
What's his face? Henry VIII had a menagerie, but not what menagerie is that what it's called?
No, I think that's when you shag 2 other people.
Menage 3. That's a Menage 3.
Yeah.
And he had a fucking polar bear at
Yeah.
the Tower of London because Tom was on the fucking tour thing and he was like, he used to fucking dive in there in the Thames. It wouldn't have even been a polar bear anymore. It would have just been a fucking brown bear.
Aye,
Like,
big stinky covered in shite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wanna watch it tear.
that is who Paddington
not.
is. It's just a shit covered polar bear.
Aye.
And a
Edinburgh
fu-
Zoo used to have a polar bear. Do you remember that?
And then they had it got
was
it
it
had
well that late?
no, it had
Yeah.
depression, and it would like just jump up and down, and that was when we were all like, "Oh man, zoos aren't." Great.
Maybe his captivity is the problem.
Well, they released it in Blair Drummond Safari Park eventually because they were like, "This is just depressing everyone." Turns out, spray painting the rocks white didn't make it think it was. Yeah, for some reason the bear saw through that. Like within the first 12 years, so the remaining 36 were utter hell for it. And then in the final 2, they released it into not even the final 2. They released it into Blair Drummond Safari Park where they like ran around. There's a video of it like in grass in a field, the biggest enclosure it's ever had, losing its mind. And then I think like 4 days
Died
later,
of
it died.
happiness.
Died of just joy. Just went
Fucking insulted death.
yeah, and then it just collapsed, and then a breeze came along, and it just.
Like, I'm glad they've got rid of the killer whales and that at SeaWorld in Florida.
I
But
got to watch them before I knew it was abhorrent.
Aye.
So I got to enjoy it. In innocence.
That's exactly
in,
what I was
in,
gonna
in,
say.
I ran to the front to the splash zone. Remember the like first few rows that would flip
Yeah.
its tail and you'd get all wet and that, you get all salt water. You're like, that's class.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm glad it's fixed, but I'm also delighted I got to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see an orca.
I'm glad I got to see both Shamu performing and Blackfish. Both great at the time when I enjoyed them.
Yeah, in the right order.
Yeah,
You can't watch them in the other order.
No.
Like, also, like...
You ever see Blackfish at black gigs? Crushes.
You know about the captivity thing? Did you ever hear that? I think it's at the start of either Sicarios or Narcos or something, where they talk about cocaine, where they put a rat in a maze and they put water and food at one end and they put cocaine in the water at the other, and every single time it goes for the cocaine, and they're like, I'm not saying animals are like rats, apart from when it comes to cocaine.
Yeah,
and that's the common thing. There's like an extension of that apparently, where they like give the rats like enrichment in life, and they didn't always choose the cocaine, they just chose it sometimes when the captivity wasn't just captivity, when they had like play and family and shit like that they just sometimes went to the cocaine, whereas like the and I don't know how much of that is bullshit from beginning to end.
Yeah. I think that's I like the fact that it's not zero, because that's when I'd be like, all right, you skeptic. It's like, well, no, the second we gave the rat a home and a family and kids, he stopped doing cocaine. It's more like, look, whenever we gave the rat family, home and regular food, most days it spent with its kid, and then occasionally the kids were asleep. And it didn't see its family for 3 days.
Just went and had some cocaine.
Yeah.
A big rat bender. Is there any other kind?
He came back a couple of days later, and the mum rat was like, you fucking what? Say it, Linda. Say it. I'm a fucking rat. All right, I went out with her. That's what I brought you back some cheese. I'm not hungry, let me tell you. And then
I brought you back some cheese. I lost my appetite. I got it on the way home. I had one bite. Big mistake. Anyway.
Tried to drive some kid's head. Didn't work. Just pulled his hair out. And I don't think he wanted to be a chef.
That's what you're doing. It's just like, I'll just laugh along at my big ratatouille. Hey.
Yeah. It's like, do a line. Prove you're not a cop.
That's why our chefs are on coke. Not because of working conditions.
It's just those are the rats that have escaped the cocaine test. They're now all chefs. They're just controlling all the chefs.
If you give a rat a chef or some cocaine, it goes for the chef every time.
Makes him do the cocaine. Takes him back through the maze. Daniel creates lulls from time to time. It's quite funny.
I think we all create a lull there.
He doesn't create it. He confirms it. He's so capable of like, that was fun, guys. But what we're gonna do now? What's next?
Well, you're the one that brings. I'm happy to sit in a lull. You're like, I'll acknowledge it, and that'll get us out of it.
Because I wanted to, like, I saw the lull coming, and I went, I want to jump in here, and I remember it's not my podcast. Like, if this was happening on mine, I would have been like, right, so then we go on to someone else. But you just went,
can edit out lulls, so
we won't.
But
we could. We all could.
I've got a.
You're acting like I'm not capable of editing. We could. We've got like a setup. We could sort it.
You could just do it yourself. You're a capable man.
Do you just film on your phone or?
Yo, my barbecue. I didn't realise this until the other day. Alexander, Natalie's brother. Like we'd all like obviously told him you had a son and everything, right? And then he got introduced to your son at the barbecue and was convinced he heard, this is Caitlin, and questioned everything. We're like, oh, have that a daughter? It looks like a boy, but fuck, I don't want to misgender your kid. And just spent like 30 minutes just wanting someone to say he or she so that he could join in to the conversation.
Well, joke's on him, we only call Caitlin it.
It was like...
Also, it is a woman.
Sexism.
So he was just sat.
It's always nice to remind them of how far we've come.
Come a long way.
Yeah. You have a barbecue, did you?
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
Hey, we invited you to a barbecue.
It's not that you weren't invited. It's not that you weren't invited. You just weren't welcome.
Fair enough. He invited us to a barbecue the other day, and I came round. And he was like, we need to leave because Kaylin's sick or whatever. And I then cooked all their food and then put it in the fridge for them and left. I went, am I a chef? I
had the lunch.
I had to check my head for a wee rat. I was like, what? Am I in the Matrix? I just made food. I had a chat with Colin, then went home, watched Love Island.
We do appreciate you cooking. It was.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how well you cooked because it was in the fridge by the time we came back, but we're not dead. So,
Yeah, well, yeah.
aye.
Have you seen Gary? You know the lad that does Gary Poundland, Jack Kerwin.
No.
Ever seen Gary Poundland?
No.
He's got this built-up video where it's he just does it like he's talking to himself and he cuts between. He's like, "Oh, so what were you doing on the weekend?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we had to go and identify Sharon's body after she was burnt in the fire." And then there's like a pause and he goes, "Where was my invoice?" But no, it was organic barbecue. He was popping out to get
That's what you don't have to
get
explain.
weed
Yeah, no,
off
no,
a
no,
dealer.
Oh, right. Go on.
He was picking up hardcore drugs
What was I
off
picking
one
up?
of my other guests.
Hardcore weed.
Guess who?
I'm going to guess the one that has PTSD.
Yeah. Cullen.
Yeah.
We.
Pretty troubled selling drugs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
PTSD. Anyway,
Pretty troubled selling drugs.
Yeah.
Nice. Tom Horton level speed, that.
I know, yeah. I hate myself for it. Mainly because she's all just went, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, mate, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad you explained it because I didn't get it and I was just
I know
doing
you
the
didn't. I've
fucking.
seen it.
Aye. Well, that's what you have to do. You have to sometimes. You can
Like
lead
doing a
horse.
podcast with Laura.
Explaining the jokes. Who's got that? Is it just a common line or is it somebody's conversational piece about a joke's like a frog? If you cut it open, you'll learn more about it, but it dies.
Yeah, I think it's an old trope in comedy. I don't know if it was originally said by someone just dissecting a
before.
frog. Have you not?
No.
Have you know? I think I heard it from Stuart
I thought you were
Goldsmith,
gonna
but
go-
I think he was quoting it.
If you cut it open, you can figure it out, but it's no fun anymore.
I say that. You can't play with it anymore.
You can see how it works, but it's
Do you ever
stops
collect
being-
frogs when you were wee? I used to collect them in wee jars.
Aye, just jars.
Just jars. And then I'd maybe transfer them to a fish tank.
We had them in my granddad's pond, but I didn't like round them up.
Well, I rounded
Put
them
them in beakers.
I remember I'd catch them in my
Like a mad
hands
scientist.
down the burn and like leave a little bit open for air and that.
Aye.
And then like run up to my grand's house. It was maybe a 3-minute run.
Aye.
And then just pop them in a jar, take them home, put them in a fish tank.
Nice.
But one time I did it and I opened up and the frog was dead in my hands. And they
Straight in
were
the
like-
witch's brew.
Yeah, well, they were like, you need to stop doing this.
Yeah,
I
that's-
must have just suffocated her or something
Mind
like that.
when
Or scared it to death. Like it was just maybe it was super scared of the dark. and
That
was
made
sick
me
and it-
feel mad powerful that you could scare something to death.
just by holding it.
mind when he found the carcass of
Oh
a dead
my
frog in
god,
his bedroom.
it's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me, and I was not involved in any way.
I've had a long history with frogs.
Because you had a very untidy room and a subterranean.
Very untidy room is underselling it
There
massively.
was-
Yeah.
There was a
Aye.
dead frog in the room for years.
Yeah, but not even dead. Like
decomposed.
it had finished
Well, you'd been-
decomposing.
you'd
it was
been
the
in-
skeleton of a frog with like a
It croaked.
around a carpet stain. That used to be frog.
You've been in the
Croaked.
Thank you. I was like, it's just for me that one, I guess.
well, you know, there when it was you when we fucking because it was the frogs just got stuck down in that subterranean garden fucking bit, and whenever we used to go out and smoke, they'd fucking make the way, and we shut the door.
Hey, yo, you smoking weed?
We clearly like shut it on one, and then the door wouldn't open. It was literally like half a foot. Oh, it was just.
But
it,
the
that
door
was,
hinge just like fucking cut the like frog almost in half, and we're like, whoa, and opened it, and it was just deformed, decapitated, still alive, jump
Aye.
and run frog, and like, you know what, like, should have put it out of its misery.
yeah,
Didn't?
We
couldn't.
fucking just walked away.
Oh, God.
No, we didn't.
We were not scooping into the garden and then
No,
just leaving it
no.
die.
Rachel did it, fixed it for us.
Did she kill it?
Aye, Rachel. She was like, she saw us go and be like, just leave it. I'll burn the house down. We'll move. It doesn't matter. And Rachel was like, I'm a mother of two. I'll deal with this. Put it in the misery. Stuck it in a bin.
Stuck it under
Yeah.
your drawers.
Be like, this will fucking teach a murderer.
Aye, gross.
We used to collect all the when we would go with my grandparents. I'd get like frog spawn, and
Yeah.
then you transfer that into like a big thing of water. But then there was always that horrible moment of like
Transition
Aye.
between tadpole and frog.
tadpole and frog, and
Where
this
it's like a tadpole with arms.
yeah. Oh no, but the tadpoles. The tadpoles
Little
will.
Cronenberg.
Just life is hell.
Oh, no!
I've got to scare it to death. Stick it.
Popping like a spot.
Tadpoles eat the ones that are more developed. So like the frog doesn't escape out the water. You've got to have basically land for the fully frogs to come out of, because if they just stay in there, because the tadpoles are quicker than the frogs, they'll just eat those and then yeah.
You're just doing some mad animal propaganda here about like penguins eat their friends' eggs, toads eat their,
Just
their
let you know,
neighbours.
I'm from fucking Cocaine Rat over here. Rats are junkies. And junkies are rats.
Yeah.
Apparently you're not allowed to say the word junkies anymore. You know that?
Right. Do you know where junkie comes from?
No.
Apparently,
Is
I'm gonna
that
double
junk,
check.
junk not the word for heroin? It's just we got any junk.
No, I think it was literally like they used to hang around the junkyards to sell scrap metal because there was just anything to get money to then put into there.
Well, apparently it's derogatory now, so...
Well, of course,
wait,
but the thing about all these words are derogatory. People are going to be coming out being like, you know, the word idiot's derogatory now. You go, that's why I'm using the word. I'm being derogatory.
Like,
when did we grow beyond insulting some people that we don't like? Yeah. I'm using a derogatory word because I'm angry and emotion and I want to hurt this person's feeling. Why is this alien?
Yes.
Sorry, I used idiot as an example, mate.
Oh, it's alright, mate. I just come to terms with it. I'll use it with myself with other idiots.
Reclaimed it.
The fucking when it was the news articles saying that baldy is like calling someone baldy is sexual assault, and I was just chuffed to fuck that I molested Cullen.
Which one is it?
It's on a different panel, so if you hit that one,
it's not sexual. Baldy. It's not sexual assault. It's sexual harassment.
So aye.
Not when I do it.
Come here, Baldy.
I've got my hand in the front of his trousers at the urinal. Just tossing him off into the urinal.
Does the chrome match the dome?
Oh dear.
Slapping his head when you're about to come just because this noise it makes. Not
Oh, I thought you just meant like constantly to recreate the sound. That's it. Slapping his ball
I'm
down.
there spitting on it. Just spat on the mic.
Get a shine on. See your own face.
I can't believe the word junkie's offensive.
Somebody told me that the
I'm
other
fucking
day.
betting it is.
You know what? I'll just be like one of them old mans that just refuse to grow, and I'm just casually saying junkie. And to me, I'm grand.
Yeah, fine by me.
But everyone else, I'm just like, well, he'll be dead soon. Just let him go. It's just no bad.
It's a different time back then.
Because it would be different. Like it's been acknowledged. It's like they've got an illness.
Yeah.
Like they're sick. We're just making fun of them.
But well, you know, when you're talking to them and you're like, look, obviously you're a recovering addict, and we're proud of you how far you've come. That's when you're a recovering addict. But if you've fallen off the wagon and you've nicked 20 quid at my wallet, you're a fucking junkie.
Bastard.
You're a junkie bastard. You're a rat junkie bastard.
Handle your shit.
Aye. Isn't it weird? This may be
go.
uncouth. That all heroin junkies sort of end up with the same face.
Oh yeah, aye. Like they've just like put the Hoover into their mouth and
Yeah, aye.
Vacuum sealed their fate.
Like, Ghostbusters got a fright of one in a cave somewhere. Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, you'll go back to normal.
you ever get in their bags where you take your luggage?
Is it just that like the life's literally drained out of them?
Yes.
So
They don't eat. Wow, that's
Yeah.
Is it appetite suppressant?
Yeah. But then Coke also suppresses that, and they don't go as gaunt. There's got to be an extra soul-sucking thing.
But like, I
Maybe it's
reckon I could like meth junkies look very different to heroin junkies.
Well, it's because they've not slept in 17 years.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like heroin. I think you can sleep on. Like you pass out and you come back in, and it's just like floating. It's a different stage of consciousness. Like meth is, I'm taking off this brain, and I'll find this later on. I hope. I hope I remember where I put this. And let's go fucking batshit mental.
Yeah, because I was like, I remember seeing like the meth junkies in Australia, and like it was so different because our junkies are quite laid back. They're just like, all right, and you're like, they're quite like mellow.
I'm trying to catch the bus.
Aye, all that. Whereas in Australia, it was like, give me your fucking wallet, and you're like, whoa, that is a different. It's like World War Z zombies. Like they can run. What
This
the fuck?
is worse, way worse. Aye.
Have you seen the space cunts that are hanging around Manchester mostly?
Girls.
Jesus.
Yes, I got one of their head tattoos.
My God. Somebody doesn't like their music. Get it?
Spice cunts. You heard of the Powerpuff cunts? Fighting crime, trying to save the world and that.
Toxic, man.
The sugar bastards. Aye, they're good, aye.
The lads on Space, I only ever see them in Manchester, but they're fucking just gone. They're stood up, but they're like doing like fucking like Michael Jackson dance where they fall forward and stood up right now. They're just fucking
Spice
gone.
the legal, the factory made.
I guess so,
like,
Artificial cannabinoid.
Is it artificial cannabinoid?
Yeah, so they're trying to fucking synthetically make weed, even though you can just grow weed and it's fine, it's a plant, it's natural. They're like, no, weed's illegal. So we got to synthesize a way to make this give 13-year-olds aneurysms in the middle of the street.
So do you reckon if like you got like a game show idea, right? You line up everybody and each person's on a different drug, do you reckon you could call it?
I think so.
Do you reckon you could get it?
But I also think I can tell what team you support by looking at your face in Scotland.
Yeah?
I think so.
You think you can tell?
I reckon I could guess.
Just between like Rangers and Celtic, or do you reckon you can look at someone and go,
I could
part
kinda,
of Thistle, that lad?
maybe not part of Thistle, but I think I could do Hearts and Hibs in Edinburgh as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Like a lot of the times I look at folk and I'm like, yeah. I've only ever failed once to my knowledge.
Aye. Are you just looking for slightly gammony,
forward
more
brow, Rangers.
Yeah.
Aye. Go to work with your club.
Monocle and smoking jacket.
No,
Celtic.
balaclava.
Oh, of course.
Can't see the face. I reckon you support Celtic.
Aye, I just like the guilt of that. Everything that they do is a sin, and that there's an omnipotent God watching.
Yeah, there was that.
Like everything I've done is a crime.
I've often thought that for years. I'm like, I reckon I could tell who you support.
I definitely used to when they were in primary school and I was in high school.
He's pointing to Glasgow, everyone. When they
Point to my brothers when they were. I would look at their school photos and I would try and guess like which kids. I'd be like, that's a teen pregnancy. That they're going to university, dead at 24, and triplets. Junkie.
I think you can tell when a man's Dutch. Dutch man's got a very unique look, I think.
Aye.
And you can tell when a lass is a scouser.
Aye.
Definitely.
Dutch man, you just tell by the sound of their shoes.
Come in.
Oh fuck, you got wooden Crocs.
If I had the options of footwear, what made them pick wood? You also had the option of no footwear. That would have been better.
I don't know. Just every time I've kicked a tree in anger, I was just like, this all the time?
I think I'm getting a fucking flashback here when me and Mark Nelson did a podcast. We looked into Clogs, and it was something about like the workers. I think it was like workers had them. Get up, white Clogs.
So they were like the first steel toe cap boots and stuff like that.
Must have been and then when they protested, like they fucking battered all the machinery and all that in with the Clogs.
There you go.
13th century designed to protect factory workers, farmers, fishermen, etc.
Yeah, factory workers.
What were they making in factories in the 13th century?
They were originally
Clogs, more clogs.
It's not fulfilling.
Crocs is just like you can copy my homework but change it so it's a bit different in it because they look exactly like a clog.
Yeah, but there's no.
But there's no protective element.
No, there's holes in it.
Yeah.
Drop acid on your Crocs, you're fucked.
I will never even try on a Croc in case I like
here.
it.
Oh, as somebody that has.
Same reason I won't blow a man.
Crocs are amazingly comfortable. Like,
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Because everyone they must be. 'cause
Oh man,
they're
they're
horrific looking.
they're the worst looking thing in the world. But like we all, when we were in Disney, just because you're going from like you're going from like wet to dry. You're walking around all day.
He's wearing Crocs all day.
Aye.
You're the whitest family in the
Oh
world.
yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, with our fucking white ice lollies, just like fucking getting family photos.
Crocs and socks.
Magic Kingdom, that was us, but they are comfy. I'm not allowed to wear
These
them every
fries are spicy. It's chicken salt.
They're good too. But I don't know how you can draw the line between Crocs and still wear a fucking fanny pack.
Oh, I'm not wearing a fanny pack.
No, but you do though.
Oh right, I have done. I needed.
It's just a pack before you put it on.
Daniel, I had badges and change in it.
No, there's definitely podcasts where you.
It was when we had the badges.
No, you've.
Badges and change. You're a fucking waltzers worker. There you go.
We had Team Muggins and Team Cream badges.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just that. No, man. You and me have been on the podcast where you've been like,
look,
they're just more.
I tried to make it work and didn't.
Aye.
Right, and I settled for the satchel.
Yes.
And I
If
carry
you
a little
wear
man
it across
purse.
your chest now, though, that's like trendy, isn't it?
But that's what I've been.
Fanny
That's what I've been wearing. But like, because I like want to keep all my valuables in one place, and then you found out when you lose one thing, you lose everything.
Yeah.
I lost my valuables back, and then I was like, oh great, everything all in one place. I could have spread them around my body and just lost one thing.
This was the most efficient way in the world to lose everything I had, and also my new thing.
I did that.
Great. No, I don't know what's wrong. Is it? Do people just not like using pockets as blokes because it doesn't look good? Is that the?
Pockets are excellent.
Aye, I think they're class.
Do you know how good pockets are? Anytime Laura gets like a dress or even trousers with pockets and she's like, pockets! Huh?
I didn't realise
Pockets!
lasses don't normally get pockets
No.
on anything.
No,
Like,
what
it's
do
a
they
real-
carry?
it's
They've got
real-
nature's pocket. Right in the front.
Keys, phone charger, lint roller,
And the rest.
put the makeup under the boobs.
Aye. Chapstick. In case you meet a chap.
I had a guy coming. Back on there.
Aye, loads of stuff. How long have we been doing this for, by the way? No, I want to go.
45.
It's only at 45 now?
Yeah.
Fuck, right. Another 15.
Sorry, mate.
Nah, it's
Yeah,
alright.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
got stuff on. Nice day out there.
What you got on? Tell all about it. Tell our listeners who we've just paid.
Gotta go buy a desk.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
For
My desk's too big and we're going to move the computer into the living room for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Laura said she wants some drawers in there in the spare room and I went, but, and she was like, do you need 2 monitors? And I was like, yeah, like that's standard now. You can't have 1 monitor. That's
I
crazy.
fucking hate being out and about with my laptop now without a second screen.
It's game changer.
Aye.
It's so much, and she doesn't. She's always like, you don't need the 2. And I'm like, well, on this one, so the door's like there, like on the left of the room, and the first monitor is like kind of facing the back of that there. So I have the porn on there, and there's work on here.
Yeah.
So when she walks in, I can go minimise, like, oh, I wasn't doing nothing, just working. No, I was watching stuff here. And
the second she leaves, the door shuts, you put porn back on, and you don't jerk off. You just sit there with your pipe, just watching.
I review the comments underneath.
Admin? You're an admin on Pornhub?
Somebody's got it.
Yeah, you got yeah.
I'm a moderator.
Sometimes people say really uncouth things in those comments.
Vigilante moderator. Not paid for it, but hey, it's God's work.
Yeah.
Someone has to do it.
Just go down there and be like, that's a very unkind comment. She's actually a pretty woman. Downvote. That's no longer
There we go.
viewable to the public.
Sorted.
And you know what? That is her name, and he's linked to other people to her other videos. It's very nice of him. Upvote that him.
I mean, hey.
You're not on Pornhub? Go on Pornhub. Matthew got on Pornhub. Just a second. Is there a share button next to the videos?
Yeah, there is.
No,
Yeah.
I just fucking you pretty fast there. Like, I was like, okay, on, look it up.
There's a cast button as well.
Cast!
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
You can
Wait.
stream Pornhub.
No.
Cast to TV.
Oh, I thought.
I thought you meant like an IMDb. Who directed this?
I saw that because I went to cast a porn, right? And then it was like come up the big telly, and I clicked on it, and I was like, I haven't titled anything the big telly, but I do have neighbours. I've never uncasted so quick in my life, or ever. But it was the quickest.
God, that would be good to do if you could just.
Cast chip. Somebody sent me a photo in the airport the other day. It was like somebody was sending you a photo and it disappeared before I got to fucking click accept.
It's
But I thought I was getting airdrops.
that's one of the reasons I would like to go back to iPhone, just because I've heard about all this random airdrop and stuff. I think it's great.
That was just a good way to, like, if, just randomly send.
Slipping somebody a note.
Slipping what?
Somebody a note. Just like,
Just, drop it in there. But it's of you, a real close-up picture just of your butthole.
I'll tell you about the guy on Twitter that sent me 3 photos of me when I went to see Alan Partridge.
So you see a picture of you in the crowd. and
Well,
then send
so
you them. That's very funny.
It's not funny at all. It's
Nah,
terrifying.
it is when it doesn't happen to you.
Well,
It's very funny that I'm the third party in the story.
Right. Well, I went to see it. There was 3 other comics there, and I'd seen it after the show. The first one is me in the row, back of my head, and it said great. And then the next one's me standing in the bar in the interval, like in the queue, and I'm just standing like looking at my phone, and it goes show. And then the last one's me leaving the building. It says tonight, and I was like, that's fucking creepy as fuck.
Aye.
And I showed the other comics. I was like, this is fucking creepy, innit? And they were like, oh my god, yeah. But then after a bit, they were like, did you not know us?
That's such a comics mentality.
Aye, very strange.
Like, you didn't get stalked and you're just like, but like, did not happen?
I've got a show as well.
What weird standards those stalkers have. Like, it's not that I ever would stalk, but if I were to stalk, I wouldn't stalk who they stalk. It's just a bit pathetic. Liam Withnail.
Yeah, well, that was it. The boys, Liam.
I pulled her name at me hard.
Me, Liam, Kieran, Cullen, actually.
Aye. Well, nobody knows
So
it.
2 comics.
That was like last night. Me and Liam were doing a gig. There was 4 of us in the car driving back to Glasgow, and he made some joke. He was like, imagine the car crashed, and it was like the news next day was like 3 comics die, and I was like, which one of us lived? And he was like, and he went, no, I was implying one of us wasn't a comic. And I went, oh.
That's what Nick Cody's dad, every time there's a picture with comics in, he'll do like the amount of comics -1, go, my 4 favourite comics.
It's a good bit.
Great way
It's
to do
really
it.
good. It's good doing it.
Because it definitely affects the mental health of people who slightly deserve to have their mental
Ego
health fucked
checked.
with. Aye.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the sort of thing that throws you, then maybe you deserve to be thrown.
Who was it on your stag do that just let out a sign when comics were exhausting?
Ali.
Aye.
When we were in the bakers. We weren't even doing anything, we were just having a laugh. Oh, comics are exhausting. Sorry for bringing joy to the stag.
Sorry, can I keep up with the banter?
I mean, it was definitely bad banter.
Aye, to be fair, comics are exhausting.
And when I say banter, we're trying to have banter. It's just like we have to try all the time.
It was in Greg's as well, so it was definitely not good. It's like, should we get a donut?
Maybe the ice has come.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is...
Oh, you can fuck the hole in it.
Well, Greg's donut. You have to make a hole, I think.
Yeah, well, but that's, you can make
Part of the fun.
Split it a new one. So this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
And he was like, comics was awesome.
Just put a yum yum down my dick. Floss away.
Duck and a yum yum.
Sweet enough.
Should we move on to...
We're going to do some dad jokes, aren't
Aye,
we?
that's what I was
Yeah.
going to... Well, no, before we do, even though you're washing, do you want people to come and help watch the Stank Off the Sterling gig this Friday in St Andrews?
St Andrews sold out.
So
It got as well. This is Monday's episode.
Oh, okay.
So anything that you've got from Monday onwards, please plug it.
If you're in Kilmarnock on the 29th and 30th, then I'm doing previews there. I think you're doing one of them.
No,
Oh, no.
I'm going to Kendall.
All right, fair enough. Well, there you go.
Kendall Calling. If anyone's at Kendall Calling, I'll be there.
There you go. That's it. And then the Fringe.
And then the Fringe Festival, which is 5 o'clock at the stand every night.
That is, yep. And then you can just stay in your seat and watch Kai.
Aye, I'll be on.
Sweet.
And check out TG's in the pod.
Oh, there we go.
Although that's on a break at the minute because Gareth's doing a play and he needs to rehearse.
He needs to rehearse his play.
What plays
What's
you
he
do?
doing a play of?
It's Q McAllister's new play.
Oh, nice.
right,
good,
He's
good.
just been casting it because the original person dropped out. So he's freaking out having to do this.
Oh, well.
the
If
thing
I
with-
know
the thing with
Gareth
Gareth
much,
is
he'll do
so-
a bad job.
He's so lazy. He's like, I can't do the podcast. I'm like, how is I'm rehearsing. I'm like, what, like
Aye.
10 hours a day?
Yeah,
And he's
it's
like,
1 hour.
well, no, like 6. I'm like, he's definitely an hour in the day free still.
Aye.
But I'll let him do his thing.
Values his time, doesn't he?
He very much values his own time.
Gareth, your dad's been putting his contact lenses in the wrong eyes for years. He's been putting them in your mum's.
Well, they're divorced, so that's really out of order, actually.
She was seeing other people.
Kai, your dad's lisp gets worse when he's horny. So much worse.
He's dad? Is that the joke? Daniel, your dad thinks Idris Elba couldn't be Bond because he's too old, and Gary Lineker couldn't because he's too black.
Danny, your dad got baptised in boiling water.
Gareth, your dad thinks felching is when you fart and belch at the same time, and he tells everyone he felched at his own wedding.
Oh, Kai, your dad cries like nobody's watching.
Gareth, your dad hyperventilates till he passes out when he sees tits.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh, what are we gonna do? Kai, your dad crushes the mug off his head when he's finished his green tea.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
God, I'm so fucking relaxed.
Jack, I was on the I was on the golf course with your dad and asked him what his handicap was, and he took a swing at me. Thankfully, he missed because of his crutches.
He just got Jack. Also his dad.
Aye, same thing. You were getting it next.
You three. Your dad wears a romper suit for Zumba.
Kai, your dad calls it wee because that's the noise he makes when it comes out.
Oh, that's kind of cute. He's living his life. I've already seen tits.
Matthew, your dad goes outside the pub to eat his candy cigarettes because he doesn't want to give anyone second-hand cavities.
On a similar note, Gareth, your dad has a middle tooth like Tom Cruise, but he doesn't have the rest of his teeth like Tom Cruise.
Gareth, your dad was thrilled when he found out that you couldn't lick your elbow because it meant he could keep doing it.
Someone has to.
Aye, it gets dirty. Kai, when your dad gets his wafer at church, he boasts to the priest that he has no gag reflex.
Down the hat. Pelican. What a laugh.
I'd love to see a pelican just fuck up a little fish.
Another bit of animal propaganda. Bye.